Hello and welcome to Magic of Boot. This is Ronnie Mazumdar. I have Sudipta Roy with me from Germany. How are you doing, Sudipta?
Well, a little bit busy. How are you?
Same here. There's not much football going on as well, and I shouldn't say that, but there's a Olympic men's and women's games are going on, but it's not as regarded as prestigious. And also, there will be some actions coming up pretty soon. The European um, local leagues are going to start very soon. So, how are you anticipating the season? Especially, this is still a transfer window. Have you noticed anything that really excited you so far, or anything like that?
Well, not so far. So far, PhDs, except for PhD, I haven't seen any interesting transfers. But most of the time, like what I look like, what I noticed that most of
Yeah,
the transfer
rumors.
news
That's
is like
that's what it
rumor
is
or
at
something.
this
So
point, and we
we
have to
have
be
to,
mindful of it's just a COVID affected uh, clubs and their revenues. It's not easy for the clubs to go and spend a lot, especially for the Spanish giants, Barcelona and Real Madrid. They're struggling.
I was actually going to mention them because Real Madrid, uh, actually only Real Madrid actually cope up with the COVID situation so far, but still they have to pay huge wage
Even
for
Eden
Gareth
Eden
Bale,
Hazard has a huge
and
contract. Yeah.
I don't know if he's still in.
Well, they've got
Yeah.
David Alaba,
Also, there are some white
definitely
elephants in the
definitely
team,
bonus
so
for them
and the
on free transfer.
yeah, but also it seems I don't know, like if it's I'm still out of
Varane is
the
actually leaving. Yes,
transfer zone,
he's
but
going to
if
Manchester United. And
it
speaking of
seems like
Manchester United,
Varane is
there's
leaving,
Rafael Varane.
so
There's David Sancho actually coming from Borussia Dortmund. I'm pretty excited about Sancho's transfer as well. I would like to see him full-fledged season in England. Although, yeah, go ahead.
well the problems problems with the
Which
Manchester
could
United
which
was
could
not
really help
like
Sancho because all he needs
attacking
is speed
so
and
far. Like they need
counter-attack
a
sort of football, probably.
striker who yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
know, like if Solskjaer is going to play like this because probably he would because this is what he
I think
like knew.
yeah, Edinson
Um,
Cavani, I don't
but they
think
need
he's
a
on
striker who can score like
that stage of his
25
career.
or
He can
30
score
goals
goals and is
per
pretty
year.
good at.
And
Yes, yes. No,
well,
he can definitely give you 15,
he
20
is
goals per
good
season,
in army
definitely.
time.
But you
So,
need
but
another source
this is not that the player who can
to get
actually
some
like
goals. Yeah, and
change the game.
also I should
Uh,
go ahead. Goal score. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean there's a lot of rumor
and
about Harry
Sancho
Kane.
is
I'm
actually
I'm a little bit of
well
surprised
effective
that
if
nobody
there is a
has
quick
gone
finisher.
because Harry Kane
Yeah,
reportedly didn't report on Tottenham training so far. There's his future is still up in the air. with Spurs, and there was a definite link. I don't know if it's very solid link
Yeah.
with Manchester City, but definitely some uh, admiration from Manchester United. Um, I don't know where he's going or he's going to stay. Where do you see? But if there is none, then
I don't think he will go for United, like if there is an option for City, because he wanted to explore the option of well, I don't think City is that much stupid, because they're
okay.
already
Uh,
like pushing
but yeah,
Erling Haaland
that would be
to Chelsea,
quite a
and
quite an upgrade
yeah, like
to
I saw that news that like
losing Aguero
Lewandowski is
and
moving to
having Jesus
City, like more likely.
as well. But
I don't know, like, but
um, I didn't see much on in terms of Liverpool being active on that transfer market. Not much really. Even for City's
yeah,
standard, City is not that active as well. Right. We should
I don't know
mention
what City was
about
like
some
thinking for like
mayhem going
like in
in
the beginning of the transfer
Tottenham
season. There is this rumor
because
like they
there
will
was
go
there's
for Dalot
I'll
or
give you a
like
little bit of backstory. I
Kane,
mean, you might know
um,
as well. I mean,
Grealish,
there was a time Inter Milan
with
and
like 200
Antonio
million
Conte basically
pounds.
separated their path, and because of Inter Milan's struggle with the
Yeah,
finances, and Conte being Conte, he doesn't want to manage a team that if there is no transfer happens according to his way, and he decided to leave, but taking a huge amount with him. And there was a time Tottenham were talking with Conte, and Conte basically referred Patriarci, who just got out of Juventus, and then Patriarci got the sporting, I think, sporting director position in Tottenham, and then there was the fallout with Conte, and then there was there was a rumor of Gattuso after a week being appointed on Fiorentina. He decided not to pursue there, and there was a lot of talk with Gattuso. There was somebody else who was also on their top priority list to hire as a manager, and eventually they have gone and hired the ex-Wolf manager, um, the Nuno Sanchez. Yeah, so there was a lot of drama about hiring that their manager. And now, if it looks like, I would say Han Myung Sun is their arguably third best player after Harry
and
Kane, and if we put
actually those players are already
Ericsson's
frustrated about the
obviously is gone.
situations
So
in Tottenham.
Son
Like
is
players like
staying, and
Eriksen,
that's very
he
good news for
already
Tottenham Hotspur.
left.
Uh,
Um,
they're
Also,
Yeah, yeah, but again, who'd want Dele Alli, because he's not Dele Alli of past. They're linked with Christian Romero, and Christian Romero would be a very good addition. They have got a goalkeeper,
also probably Dele Alli
Golini
will
from
stay.
Atlanta as well
I don't know,
in loan,
but
and I think they're fairly active on the market as well. They're trying to scramble whatever they can get. I think Christian Romero is definitely. I mean, Toby Alderweireld is gone, from that team. So they needed someone very solid in the defense, and I think Christian Romero is arguably one of the top
Yeah.
5 defenders at this point. They're young defenders in the world, and he definitely would add a lot. Um, Other than that, I think there's a lot of things coming for Spurs in this window. Hopefully, they can get a team that is competitive and that can challenge at least for the top 4 spot. Well, the problem with Harry Kane at this point, I mean, at this moment is what he wants. He wants definitely a silverware, right? But he has certain wage as well. So
Well,
at this point, who
if
are going to
do you think
afford
like
him?
if
It could
Harry Kane
be
will stay
Chelsea, but Chelsea looks like more
because
towards
he
Haaland.
already made his
It
statement
could
clear
be
so far.
City if they really want it. I don't think City at this point they don't. If City wanted someone, they would have gone there and basically purchased it. So the other option is Liverpool.
Yeah,
Liverpool doesn't really need him. So other than that, I don't see a title challenger. Well, with all respect to Manchester United, they're not really title challenger at this point.
yeah.
And I don't see any other team really challenging for Premier League. I think they have very good defending line, but they don't have a very good midfielders. Plus, I mean, they have very good names on midfields, but they don't really perform week in week out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Pogba
Manchester
is not
fans are like
consistent.
really excited
Yeah.
about Varane
Uh,
situation, but still, I
what
don't
about
believe like
Arsenal?
the
I
problem
mean,
is
yeah, they're
entirely in
not
the defense,
great
or
in
like
terms
it
of
they need actually
last
like
standings.
yeah, yeah, perform. Yeah, they don't have any like first team
Yeah,
midfield players. Like
yeah.
for example, other than Fernandez, I don't see anyone is
Was
in
it
that
Ben
first team
Stones
squad.
or Ben
Yeah,
White?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Uh, and also they're linked with Lautaro Martinez as well. Although I don't believe they can get him, given the
Yeah,
price tag.
they are kind of like made some exciting moves in the transfer. So far, they bought
Yeah,
Ben Stones or Stokes um, for from he was one
yeah,
of
a
the
couple
best
years back.
defender last season.
Yeah.
Ben White, sorry. Ben White, yeah. So like yeah, so like he was
No, no.
but
But the problem with
actually they
Arsenal,
can
I don't know.
in a way because
Inter
I saw some
at this
reports
point
about Inter
with
right
Lautaro
now.
Martinez, I don't think they will let
The
him
thing
go
you
without
said, like Inter needs
getting
some
at least
immediate
70
cash,
to 80 million,
and more likely,
and that's a lot of
Lautaro was
money.
going to Barcelona. Like there were some rumor, even like Lautaro, yeah. But the thing is just
Arsenal,
like
yeah,
Inter
yeah,
needs some immediate cash,
yeah.
and
They
actually
they have to they have to sell
they wouldn't
somebody, I
let
guess.
Lukaku go so far, and
Well, I was a little bit excited about
yeah,
Gandozi. Now Gandozi is now in Olympique
yeah.
Marseille.
I don't think they
So
are like
Gandozi,
I don't really think the board will like I need this
and there
board
are reports
for a
of
while, and
Xhaka
yeah,
uh,
and I'm kind of like
linked to
frustrated about
Roma,
this team.
but I
But
don't think
there
that
were
that
some
has
recent
materialized
improvements,
as well.
like
So it's
yeah, they for example, they don't have actually like regular
15-20. Yeah,
performer
that
except
range.
for like
Yes.
Nicolas Pepe
Uh,
or Bakayo Saka. They don't have like any exciting prospect right now. Um, but well, there are some like pressure. Who? Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Roma. Yeah, but it would be like a maximum 20 million euros transfer. 15 to 20, yeah, give or take. So, but the thing is that there is a pressure because uh, I think
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
guy from Amazon who wanted to, or someone, some American businessman wanted to buy Arsenal share. So like there is a constant pressure in the board. So like they went for when I saw like I heard this rumor before when Ben White is going to join. I didn't believe, and when he joined there for like 50 million, and yeah, like it was actually surprising for me. I wouldn't actually like think that like even it's like they would actually like go for like a 15 million defender like right now. It's one of their like biggest transfer still like in this market. Right? But I don't know, like there are some pressures building on around this board, and for Arsenal, it's like a different setup.
Well, what do you
For example,
expect
for Chelsea,
when
it's
you
like
say
one
fail? What do you expect
Abramovich
from
is like
this Arsenal team with
controlling the board.
Arteta? What would be failure?
For City, it's the same, but for Arsenal, it's like they are like shared from fans
So top
also.
six.
So it would be a different. Like it would be hard for them to say, like go through this stuff. The one we saw
No.
for Chelsea or for Man City, but there must be some change is coming, and if even like I think if Arteta failed this year, they're pretty much. Well, at first they need to get back into the European game. Um,
No.
yeah, top six.
No, I don't
So
see
if he
any
cannot get
other
into the
manager
top
coming
six, it
in
would be a failure. But
in
I
midst of
don't think
this chaos that's been going on not for
he
just
will
last couple of
be
years. It's been
sacked.
going on forever.
It would be a little bit
Even
reverse.
if we
Like
go back to
there will be more
Wenger's
pressure on the
last few
board because
years.
like Arsenal fans
Um,
so far.
Speaking
I'm
of
for
that,
Arsenal
I
fans,
think
but
Leeds. Sorry, is it Leeds?
there are like pressure building on
Not
from
sorry.
fans, like
Aston Villa had some
to
interesting
remove those people
purchase.
on the
Leon
board,
Bailey got
especially when they saw
he
with this
he
European Super League incident,
he's
and
coming from
there was some
Leverkusen,
mistrust going on.
as well as
So
Emi Buendia.
yeah,
I think it's a
that would
very
be
good
actually.
addition
Um,
for Villa.
I don't think
Also, there are other
Arteta
reports
is
such
leaving,
as lots of rumors.
even if he fails,
There was
but
interest on
there
Julian
must be a change
Alvarez
in the board.
in Argentina in River
No,
Plate, although
I
that's
don't think
probably
so.
dying out
Mm.
as Leon Bailey got in.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised about Jack Grealish um, not being really linked to top teams. I, I I still think there is a bit of rumor going on with City and Grealish.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it suits Pep. His kind of way of play. I think it suits Pep Guardiola. Although there is Sterling. Yeah, he's not consistent. So yeah, definitely there's hope for Grealish getting in there, and that could be a very good signing um, for City. And there'd be very good competition for Raheem Sterling as well,
Yeah,
or
and
even Riyad Mahrez, because
so
Sterling
far I
or
saw that
Grealish
like
can
from
play
the news,
both
so far
flanks.
how can I say, it's like a feeling that like City is more interested into Grealish than Harry Kane.
Yeah,
And
there could be a lot of options. Yeah, yeah. Number 9.
I think it's because of like this
So
uncertainty
whatever you've
with
seen of Ferran Torres, how do you
Raheem
rate
Sterling, yeah.
this
So
this guy? Can he step up? And I think even for Spain, he had very good Euro, but he's not the prolific goal scorer you want.
but I think so far Phil Foden will start, but he can also play as a midfielder on the left. So um, yeah. So and but the main problem with the City team is like they need the how can I say, number 9 like poacher, who can actually like holding back that defensive line. And
So
but, mm, he was actually stepping up in the end of the season, and but not in the middle. But in the beginning, he had some interesting game last season. Yeah, but the thing is that Ferran Torres is in the
yeah,
no, he is not actually a goal scorer. He's more like a
yep.
how can I say? Uh, even I think at one point, like after 20, like after 2 3 years, uh, he will be how can I say, transform into an attacking midfielder. And the thing is that like he's not like the goal scorer you want, but he can actually score some fantastic goals. But he still need to work on something. For example, he has some problems with like this fast touch. Uh, he
Yeah, for
always
certain
has like
players. Yeah, yeah,
I don't know,
definitely.
like a legendary
Do you are you kind of surprised
players
with
like
kind of
first touch, but
inactivity
sometimes
on
he
the
doesn't
window
have this
from
sort of thing.
Liverpool?
Sometimes he got confused in this first touch because he's an like a intelligent player, and he can actually like a dribble plus one or two players easily. But the thing is that it always
With the
like depends on this
title
first touch.
challenger,
Like
if there
he has to
has to be.
learn something like
And one rumor
even if you
basically,
lose the game,
I didn't see
you have to
major
actually like come
kind of
back.
rumor
Uh,
linked with
he
Liverpool,
doesn't have this thing
and that really
in him
surprised me
so
because
far.
given that
And
whatever the
one
team they
more
have,
thing is
which is
that like it
very good
also
team, but
could be
in
a
case one or
problem for
two key
him
players
because
getting injured,
Pep
which
is
happened last
playing
year,
him both in
and
the flanks,
they could be they
sometimes in
could be out
the
again. So,
attack as an attacking midfielder
sorry,
when he
your
needs to
thought
go
on
in a
that?
switch. So it's like constant position changing is sometimes actually a problem so far. Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
well, everyone is expecting them to um, I don't know, slash some, yeah, yeah. But so far,
There's a little bit of rumor going on of Guido Rodriguez being linked to from Betis to Liverpool, but I was really surprised. I mean, how many defensive midfielders then they need anyway? Because they already have quite a few. Um,
yeah.
I
Uh, well, the thing is
Yeah,
that
very
so
direct.
far uh, uh, so far I observed from
Yeah,
like the
it's
news
almost from the
and
flanks.
from other sources, like they had some cashback uh, recent years, like from Coutinho, or they made some intelligent transfers, which actually
But
worked them
that's
for
another
them. Like,
interesting point. I mean, does
but
Thiago's attributes
recently,
really help
I don't know,
Liverpool,
like
or
there
does
are
it hold them
players
back?
who can actually fit into their system. Like they,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. The thing is that like their style of play is sort of like Luis Enrique's Barcelona, because yeah, very direct and with like no creativity from central midfield, and everything is depending on the, yeah. So
yeah,
it's more like that system. But um, I don't know. Like they have players like Thiago. He can actually push a little bit further in the system.
yeah, yeah.
So
Switching,
far, we haven't actually seen like the whole system together, like with um, uh, Virgil, or like no, like there is the main problem with there is like they need a
right,
defender who can actually
right.
like be a partner in crime with Virgil, and Allison is not good and fit, so that is the problem actually. That's the reason they are actually like depending more on
Lines.
like defensive
Yeah,
midfielders, because otherwise they can actually push a little bit further. And that's the thing actually about, if you see uh, like when Thiago was playing from the first minute, more or less every attack was going through him, because he was like dropping down, collecting the ball, just pushed it a little bit further, or and then he actually catch up with the attack, and um, this sort of thing. And
yeah,
one problem is that
yeah,
Henderson, Milner,
yeah.
they're not like um,
No, he could be
they are
more of
all
a
like
six.
they had injury problems, as well as they are not in the form. So they really
Exactly.
need a defensive midfielder,
Right.
unfortunately. So Guido Rodriguez would be a also like they need a defender. Gomez is not like a natural. I don't know.
Yeah.
If Virgil wasn't there, he couldn't actually like lead the defense line. So that's the problem actually. They need a defensive midfielder as well as a defensive
Yeah.
defender,
And
like a
wingers.
center back who can
Yeah.
actually like play like who is comfortable in ball, um, with ball and also without ball.
Right.
Like so yeah, and also like Thiago needs some
Just
support
switching on.
in
You
the
did mention
central
about
defensive area,
PSG.
like who they need a
So I
player
know
who
they've
like
signed quite a few,
like
but
I don't know. Thiago
what
couldn't
really
actually
stood
like
out for you? Is
they
it
played him as
Sergio
a
Ramos?
defensive
Is it
midfielder
someone else
most of the time last season. Um, but he's not like a natural
signing?
defensive midfielder. He's probably like if you play like if you play like a 4-2-3-1, he could be a second defensive midfielder. What we saw in the previous season. But uh, yeah, if Guido Rodriguez um, yeah, if they sign Guido Rodriguez,
Yeah.
it would
And
actually see him
also, Mauro Icardi
a little bit
is
further
staying.
um,
There
up in
was
the space, and he could like make he has this ability to
no,
make those
that's the
like
thing. I mean,
visionary passes
there was
like
a lot of
to the
rumor
wings,
from
and
Juventus
with
wants
like
him and stuff
two
like that,
speedy
and
wing backs
he wanted to
and
go back
Salah and
in
Mane is emerging towards
Yeah,
and
and also he
he's
wanted to go
developing
back in
down the
Milan,
road
maybe
like
AC
at least five
Milan, because
players,
of this
five, six
path
players
with
to
Inter Milan.
so
Anyway,
like
but
it would be a number game
eventually
and
AC Milan
they
went for
could actually
Olivier
make something
Giroud,
there.
and but I'll go back in Italy a little bit later. But from PSG's point of view, they have signed Donnarumma, while you have Kylian Navas, poor Navas, but signing Donnarumma,
Kylian
then
is
obviously
a
Ramos for
interesting
free, I mean almost free
signing,
transfer.
yeah.
Then you have
And Sergio Ramos
Wijnaldum,
will give
just
them, I
also
don't know,
also
like
coming
some
in.
reliability and like
There are a lot of
I don't know
midfielders.
the
I think
set
Sarabia
pieces
is probably
also.
leaving. I'm not
So
100%.
yeah, in set pieces, PSG relatively looks like a little bit dangerous.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't
and
really looked into that as well, where he's going. But Sarabia is
but the
leaving. But
thing is that like he
given
probably
that
couldn't
the other
find his
other
place
team
in
had
the
very good,
first team.
I thought, given the budget, uh, Olympique Marseille had a fairly good transfer window. They've got Ganduzi.
Yeah, I saw like
Uh,
this valuation report
they've got
about like Icardi
Valerdi,
and
who was
Bruno
on
also.
loan. He got in permanent. Uh, they got rid of Benedetto, the ex-Boca striker, and there are some interesting prospects coming out. French, yeah, yeah.
For free, yeah. Yeah, Sarvi is leaving super probably
Yeah,
with some Spanish team, I don't know.
yeah. Recover from that TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big blow, definitely for a lot of French team.
Yeah. Well, there are also problems like probably we talked about it or like I checked in the private text about this Italia French drama. Yeah, about this
There's a
cancellation.
scam.
Like what happened there is like at first they are with probably Channel One or something like this French TV, and they wanted to make something like Premier
Yeah.
League. So there were
No,
companies
I
they
still
actually
feel,
bought the shares,
given all the
and
circumstances, they have
the thing
got
is that
some
they hold back
interesting
in the last moment
players. We
at the
mentioned about
beginning of this
Ganduzi.
last season, and
He can be
there's
inconsistent, but it would be
clubs
interesting
like
to
Marseille,
see
Leo, they invested a
under
lot of money
Sampaoli how
in the market. They
they kind of
like
compete,
hoping
and
that they
there
would
is Lille
actually got it,
who
but
almost retained
yeah,
their
but they
last year's
didn't.
team, and they've
And also
just
the
won
COVID happened, and
the Super
there were
Cup
like
against PSG.
300 million euros was for each and every one of this team. And yeah, and then they tried to
Uh,
like sign in with
it would
they actually
definitely,
completed the league
it
with
definitely
their
would, but
usual sponsor,
um,
and now
what
they
it
sold
what
their
it would
share
bring
like in
is a little
80%
bit more option
to
uh,
probably some
for
American company
newcomers. But again,
with Amazon
Olympique Marseille,
probably.
I mean, I
But
don't want to
the
talk
thing is
a
that
lot about
Amazon is
them.
paying
There
the
could be 1 or 2
same
months of
amount of
a
money as
high
their
and then
usual
a lot of low.
partner. So like there is this
Uh,
like
and
and they
Depay,
didn't actually
Memphis
they
was a
didn't
star,
actually like
definitely.
let the usual partner to
But
that
again, you have to have some kind of gap
option. So
for
it's like
new emergent talents
total
coming
riot
in.
there. So I don't know,
Um,
like
yeah.
French teams
Moving on from France
will
to Juventus. Juventus um, is definitely looking more of a title challenger after they lost last year's um, Scudetto, and obviously there is Allegri is back. There was rumor about where Cristiano Ronaldo might be going. Seems like he's staying because I don't know who else can afford his huge
but
wage
do you
bill as
think
well, and he
like
definitely does bring a lot.
uh, Deepa's uh, uh, Deepa left already, so like would it
I don't think
affect
because
his team?
Icardi just signed that extension with PSG, and I don't know if that would still happen, but I don't. Allegri did have a press conference where he said that Ronaldo should take more responsibility. I don't know what he was referring to, but uh, well, what do you expect from a 36-year-old person? Uh, is not going to be, and obviously, Dybala is going to be. Allegri praised him a lot in the press conference, so it seems like Dybala will be the major player that he will bank in, and obviously it's a crucial year for Dybala. He's staying. If Allegri was not there, there would have been a doubt about Dybala's future in Juventus. Locatelli is definitely there's very clear interest from uh, from the Juventus team, and I think there was a lot of interest on Rodrigo De Paul, but De Paul already have left for Atletico Madrid. Um, and there is a little bit of interest on Leandro Paredes as well.
So there are
He could be
rumors
the
like this switch
because
between
there's a lot of midfield option in
Ronaldo
PSG,
and
and he could be
Icardi.
one of the
Uh,
options they could go in. But it
so
depends on Juventus funding
mm,
issues because they're still one of the teams that's still basically backing that Super League uh, option, and it seems like uh, I should mention about their newcomers as well. I've seen one or two games, and
well,
there's one
probably defending. I
newcomers
don't know, like who was
really
staying at
caught
the
my eyes.
you
Matias
know
Sole, his name,
yeah.
from Argentina. He looks very promising, and so far he's training with the first team. He could be promoted because at this point I don't know if Juventus can afford to buy another center back, so he could be pushed up as a first team member, maybe a squad player. But that's still a lot for an 18 or 19-year-old guy. And I think Juventus
Yeah,
had a
but there
problem
are a
in the
rumor
midfield, especially
of
they would have hoped
Locatelli
Arthur Melo would have
moving to
clicked, and I think Pjanic is coming back as well from Barcelona. Uh,
yeah.
Allegri likes Pjanic a lot, and that
But
probably gives them a little
what
bit
do
of
you,
better midfield stability. And in attack,
yeah.
yeah, I think he's going for 4-2-3 again. Although he sounds more like he would be a little bit more attacking. What happened with Allegri when he was in charge with Juventus? There was a little bit of disagreement with the board, and he had less
Yeah.
power. Now with Sarri in one season and Pirlo with one season, they got him back, and Allegri now has more kind of power to say who he wants and what kind of players he needed. He definitely wasn't really impressed with Bonucci. He took a jib at him at that press conference. Um, yeah, but yeah, it's still kind of not delete. I think he might be pushed to be the to at least you know they had the Rugani wasn't really up to the level. One of the major reasons
Yeah,
they're really disappointed, and also if that transfer of Christian Romero happens, they will get 15% of whatever the transfer fee is
but
because Christian Romero's
what do you
or
think like what
they
should be the
bought the
formation?
original
Because
rights, and then
Allegri used
there's
to
certain
play
percentage with Atalanta.
Juventus in the like 4-3-3 formation so far I remember.
And Bentancur, yeah. I think Bentancur is still staying. I think Rabiot is staying as well. It's hard to push them out.
Yeah, but
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's why there was a little bit of interest on Paredes. I don't know why, if it's rumor or is it real.
yeah, although they
But
have a
there seems
brilliant
like
tournament, but the
Locatelli,
thing
if
is that like
Locatelli and Pjanic comes in, that's
they
an
paid
instant
80 million
upgrade
for
from whatever
what
midfield they
was
had
the
from
Ajax
last year.
defender I forgot actually. Um, yeah, Grealish,
Yeah,
sorry.
I can
Uh,
totally hear you.
but he's not the first team member.
Can you hear me?
They still depends on you.
Okay, I think there was a
Yeah,
little bit of disconnection and now
but
it came back. So
yeah,
just
and
moving
also like
from
there are problems.
Juventus to Inter Milan, last time's
Mm,
champion, and they got a new coach with Simone Inzaghi, and they need definitely a lot of cash. I think Demiral is one of the players they might let go, as well as
mm,
uh,
okay.
there could be if the proper offer comes for Lautaro. Lautaro might be the one. He might be
Okay. And
let
there
go
is
as
this
well. But they want to
problem
keep
with
Lukaku
the
as
central
well as
defensive midfielder. Like
Barella. Uh,
Juventus decided to play
yeah,
in 4-3-3
Inter
formation.
Milan. I think
So
they definitely need some more cash and they want to free some players. And it would be interesting to see what players really they free up. And I don't really expect a lot more inclusion in Inter Milan because they
but if they
still
got
they do have
Locatelli,
a lot more
if they
players.
got
Oh, sorry,
Locatelli, then
we
they
should
would
have mentioned
go
Ashraf
get a number
Hakimi
eight.
going into PSG.
I would say, just for
Hakimi
at least
transfer definitely weakens
Italian perspective,
um,
you know.
Inter
Um,
Milan, um,
so
and it would
um,
be interesting to see if they really go for anyone or just sell more players. And it doesn't look that great for Inter Milan, to be honest. Atlanta is an interesting team because
hello.
they're more kind of an outsider. Not lot of people really expects them to win, but they're always on the
I
hunt
cannot hear
for
you.
that
No.
top two,
No.
three, or fourth
Oh yeah,
position.
now it's okay.
Atlanta, obviously if Romero got sold, and also Golini, their keeper, is sold, so they got Musso from Udinese, the Argentine keeper, as their starting keeper. I think they're retaining most of their players, uh, and it would be interesting. They might get Demiral as well if Romero leaves. Locatelli is from Sassuolo, so if yeah, so Atalanta wouldn't be harmed if that happens. So Sassuolo might get a little bit weakened, but I've seen Sassuolo uh, after each transfer window, they still find some way to be that competitive, and they're still attractive football. But I think their manager is leaving, if I'm not wrong. Also, speaking of a manager, Jose Mourinho right now in Italy with Roma, and they have I mean, Roma is not the most spiciest team in Italy at this point, but still, you can expect a lot more drama and a lot more competitiveness. Hopefully with Mourinho. And
Um, and what about Atlanta? There are a lot of
squad,
activities going on
yeah,
there actually.
yeah, the ex Arsenal player. It's not coming into my mind. Um, yeah, yeah. But I don't think they can afford at this point. No, probably not. Uh, Maybe a loan deal, or maybe they're looking for more of a defensive midfielder because their Granat Xhaka was linked with them. And Mourinho, well, if you have looked
Well,
Mourinho's
if you
successful teams, they mostly
yeah,
have
and if
a very good
Locatelli
striker.
left,
And I don't know, Dzeko was good, but
oh sorry,
he's definitely aged. Um, Pedro is one of the players that Mourinho said he didn't really need him. Um, there was that Paris. He was from Barcelona. He's still there. There's Mancini. There is Pellegrini. Not Pellegrini. Is it? I'm not 100% sure if it's Pellegrini still there. There's a bit of injury concern about Spinazzola being there. He probably cannot be there in most of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of cope, and they definitely want to finish in the top four, or at least, well, with Mourinho they would definitely go
well
for top
they
four.
have
And there is
uh,
another
what they
team in Rome,
well they
Lazio.
have this aging
Maurizio
forward
Sarri
line
has been
with
appointed,
yeah with
so you could
Pedro, Dzeko,
expect a
and
little bit of more
some other player I
attractive
forgot
football.
actually.
They've got
But
Luca Romero from Mallorca, who would be a first team member, as well as um,
so
Immobile staying.
yeah, they
There's a
probably
rumor Joaquin Correa might
in hunt
not be in that
um,
team because Sarri doesn't like
for
him.
a forward or
But if
one of their
nobody else takes
replacement.
him, I guess he's going to stay there. There's a bit of link with him and PSG.
Maybe a loan deal. I
Uh,
don't know.
but again, it depends on the market and what. If Sarabia leaves, that there might be a little bit of cash to spend, but I don't see Joaquin Correa really fitting in where it's Neymar, Mbappe, and Icardi, and a lot of other players who are being probably way ahead of him. Joaquin Correa could be going to Inter Milan if Lautaro Martinez leaves because Simone Inzaghi likes him, his ex-manager. Uh, and yeah, with Sarri, I'm a little bit of interested to see how Sarri brings this Lazio team in. There could be some interesting games with Lazio, and as well as AC Milan is almost retaining their team, and they've they've got rid of Donnarumma. They've got a keeper from um, French league, I think, and also they've got Olivier
Yeah.
Giroud in top. Um, it definitely doesn't look that great on the paper for AC Milan, but given that what they have achieved last season, it could be interesting. But I don't,
Yeah.
at this point, if I see the roster of players, I don't really get excited about AC Milan or Inter Milan. So definitely there is advantage for Juventus. Uh, there are other teams are in the mix, but it's not as straight challenges. I see Juventus, be, obviously with Locatelli getting in and keeping their more players. I think Juventus going to be in the driving seat. Can we switch our attention a bit to Barcelona in La Liga? Yeah, Barcelona got some free transfers, but still Lionel Messi is still free. He couldn't be added. I think August 13 is the last day you can add because Barcelona has more players on the wage bill is way up to 110%. According to La Liga, it has to be 70%, and it's unsustainable. And they're trying to get rid of players such as, I mean, a lot of players, and trying to negotiate with the players to take a pay cut. Players like Sergio Busquets and Sergio Roberto didn't really agree so far. There's a bit of problems with Ilax Moreba with his extension. I think he's probably not going to be signed as well. But the biggest concern, obviously, is obviously how you fit in Lionel Messi's wage, which he apparently managed 50% cut. But still, the wage bill is so high. I mean, there is obviously Antoine Griezmann who likes to take a pay cut as well, but still, there's a lot of problems in Barcelona, and it's not sustainable. With Memphis Depay got added, Sergio Aguero got added as well, and they're probably getting rid of Pjanic if he goes back to Juventus. But it's not huge. As well as they've got Trinicao out in the loan in Wolves. Um, and there was some interest on the Christian Romero, I think, but they couldn't afford him. They didn't have money. On the back line, I mean, there's still Umtiti is still there, and nobody wants Umtiti, and he's on a big salary. Eric Garcia. Yeah, Eric Garcia is added definitely,
I
but
was going to ask
players
that
like
actually.
Neto, who's a reserve keeper, is on a really high salary. He doesn't want to go anywhere, and they're not any other
Yeah,
teams really wants to purchase them with that amount of salary. So to free up that salary, it's insane. And they've got Emerson back from Real Betis. Uh, so it's an interesting bunch of players, but there are too many players. Such as they wanted to get rid of Umtiti, they want to get rid of Coutinho. I don't know who is going to get Coutinho at all at this point with that kind of salary range. So yeah, it is it is going to be interesting, and there is
yeah,
Fatih coming out up as well, and Usman Dembele is another one. I think he's on a big salary as well. He's sitting on, and his
yeah.
future is not really certain. And there are not a lot of days. Today is 2nd of August, so they have to sort it out fairly soon. For La Liga. Yeah, no, I totally get it. But yeah, well, they've got La Liga got a ESPN deal.
And
Solely one
also
of the major reasons
they
was
got
Lionel Messi,
uh,
and
who's the player from the city?
if Messi is not there, it's going to be a
Forgot
problem.
actually the name. Eric Garcia, yeah, they got Eric Garcia.
And also, we talked about a little bit of
But
Real Madrid, but I think Atletico Madrid have done very well in this transfer window. They have, uh,
yeah,
Rodri. Are we talking about Rodri? from Atletico. It's not coming into my mind. Yeah. I think Saul is getting out
Also,
as well. Not sure
also
in Barcelona
Dembele.
because I don't believe any kind of rumor linked with Barcelona. The swap deal you're talking about, the Griezmann and the I don't think Griezmann wants to go to Atletico again. So I think there's a lot of even out of that, Saul might be lured to Premier League, but I think Atletico
Yeah.
Madrid is the
Also,
only
by the way,
team they
there
know
were
their
news
what
from like other
what
clubs,
players are
like
there, and
they
they've already been
want
champion,
Barcelona
and
to,
their
I
their
don't know, they want to
player
have Barcelona to
contract management has been
retain their
superb.
contract with Lionel Messi, because if Messi leaves, in a way, like it wouldn't be actually exciting,
I
at
think
least
I
for
think for now
Madrid,
they'll
not for La
stick with
Liga.
one at least Savage
So,
and the
so
Uruguayan
yeah,
what is his
in
name?
the even the class
No,
presidents
not
and
good.
stuff,
Jimenez, yes.
like staff members,
Um,
they
I
actually
think
they're
they're
thinking in
they're
a
solid
large scale.
players,
But I
and
don't know,
there's
like
always
if that
young
is the
talents coming
regulation
in
as
as
of
well. I
now.
mean, I don't know if what Simeone is
Mhm.
thinking about now in Paris, who's who's been loaned to Granada.
Oh,
He definitely has probably
yeah.
one or two more defenders on the back
So I don't know,
he
like
can really depends on. But
actually Atletico Madrid um, like sneaked some players
Angel
like
Correa,
Rodrigo de Paul. He'll be a great addition because last year
and they have Carrasco as
William
well, and as a backup as well. So
actually for
it's definitely looking
uh,
fairly solid for them.
Arsenal. I don't know the name of the player.
We
I
haven't.
forgot actually.
Oh, the
No, no,
Sevilla
no,
team.
no,
I
not
think
really.
Koundé is
He's
going
left
to
for
Chelsea
Arsenal.
from Sevilla. It's a very good
Yeah,
business
from
for
Atletico.
Sevilla, and they're always great at looking at young
Um,
talent
I really
and
forgot
groom
his
them and
name.
make it
Yeah,
make them profit maximize.
also Barcelona. They like Barcelona is trying to
Bilbao always
get rid of.
fights really well, and
Yeah,
they have
Saul is going to
fairly
Barcelona, and
core group,
Griezmann is heading.
um, all from Andalusia and that
No,
region,
it's like
Bilbao region,
yeah, it's like they're part of
and
the
they
team.
always
They are trying to
fights well.
give the yeah
I think
yeah
Sevilla. Um, it would be
yeah
interesting who would be the
yeah. So
um, replacement for Conde. Um, I didn't. I forgot to mention
yeah.
about Langley. Langley doesn't want to go anywhere else from Barcelona because he's in fairly big salary as well. Um,
I think yeah, and also like maybe a little bit change in defense. I don't know. It would be um, good for their team because
no, it's 2025, 2026, so it's a bigger contract with a bigger amount of money. So I
Godin.
couldn't believe that
Oh
they
yeah,
were
he
doing
has.
it. Um, especially the last board of Barcelona. So yeah, it's quite a bit of wage they have to cut. I don't know where what they're going to manage it, but it's going to be very, and all other teams know that this Barcelona team wants their this player. Say for example, if I am interested, I'm a team, and I'm interested in Coutinho, um, and I don't want to pay that much. Probably a couple of days before the window closes, I can go and low
Also,
bid, and I
yeah,
might get
like
him because I
they
know
already have
Barcelona
like
wants to
Felix
get rid of certain players,
Suarez
and
in the
that might
attack.
be easy shopping for a
So
lot of
it's
teams. I mean, going at the very
yeah,
last
Angel
moment
Correa.
and
So
buying
like
them
it
fairly cheap.
seems pretty solid from the point of view. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know. They have to first of all manage their team first. If Messi couldn't get in, I don't there's some very exciting talents in this team, and obviously I would like to see Memphis Depay how's going to play in that team. But with Griezmann, Memphis, Dembele is still there.
Also, last season,
You have Messi, you have
Atletico
Ansu
Bilbao
Fati
did
coming
pretty
out.
well.
Aguero is still there. I don't know. There are too many
Yeah.
players. Or it could be 3-5-2 like last year, or 3-4-3. Sorry, 3-4-3. That Koeman was getting some success with Oscar Mingueza. Go ahead. Okay.
And I saw that like this um, report that like most
In
of the
midfield or
players,
in
like
defense?
none of their contract is like expired in
Anyway,
this
yeah,
season. Most
there
of
are
the
a lot of
players, that,
players.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Olympic team. Yeah, I couldn't believe there was like 6, 7 players from Spanish Euro team is actually playing on that Olympic team. Yeah, well, Oscar Mingueza got injured. He would have been there. There's a ex-Barcelona left back. Can't remember his name. He was Cucurella. La Masia. He's not actually Barcelona. He played in Getafe, but Cucurella is there, and there is Dani Olmo. There is Ceballos. There is
Yeah.
Oyarzabal. Uh, yeah,
So
and
like
Spanish team is
I don't
playing
know.
in
Do you think
semi-final. I
there
think
will be
there's
a
still
Champions
two
League
two teams to go,
final contender or something
and
like this
yeah,
season?
Spanish team is definitely looking good in Olympics. But I'm just going out of this transfer window. Let's Yeah, so yeah, Pedri is there. There is Frank De Jong. There is Sergio Busquets. There is, and
So far
hopefully,
this season I saw, yeah, uh, Aguero,
4-3.
yeah,
I don't really expect all problems to be gone. I expect Umtiti will be loaned,
and they
but
will
if
play
you're loaning him, then
4-3-3
you're still
formation
paying him.
like this season so far.
That doesn't really free up your
Well,
finances.
it depends. I don't know.
Uh, uh,
So far I saw that like, yeah. So far I saw that like in
it would
the
be very
preseason
difficult.
matches,
I mean, I
they
cannot
are actually like
cannot
more
think what
4-3-3.
what can happen.
Like even when they changed the complete team in the after the first half, they are like still playing in 4-3-3
Well,
formation.
it
There
was
are
a
like some
previous
talents
board.
like
They were
uh,
not
the
really
guy. I actually
intended
forgot
to
his
do it,
name
and
again.
they're looking for finances
um,
from that Super
yeah,
League,
in attack actually. Um,
and obviously losses in COVID.
um,
But yeah, it's really tricky
I'm like
in
really bad.
Barcelona's position as well
Yeah,
as
there
Real
are some
Madrid. Real
exciting
Madrid is
prospects
slightly
there.
better, but they're
So,
not that
but Pedri
great.
is still
I
there,
mean, in great shape
and one
as
of the
well.
problem with Pedri, I
So
think,
yeah, I think
he's
that
still in
probably
the
wraps up.
still
Oh,
in the
I
yeah
forgot.
with the Olympic team,
MLS is getting some
and
South
he
American
played
talent,
like
such as Thiago Almada.
all of these tournaments.
Atlanta United got him. I don't know how good it is for
Yeah,
Argentine
and
talents
Eric
to be
Garcia
in MLS,
also
but
in that team.
there's definitely money that MLS teams
Yeah,
can afford. Uh, there is also a lot of interest on Julian Alvarez, who rejected the offer, as well as Facundo Farias. Uh, I think
mhm,
uh, I think there's quite a bit of team in MLS that they're looking for him. Uh, But yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea for young talents from South America to come in MLS?
Yeah.
Yeah, any South American teams except what is his name?
What do
Miguel
you think
Almiron.
like
I
the team could
I
look
think
like?
nobody else stuck
Given
into mind in
like
terms of
for example, imagine that
getting out of MLS
all
and coming
problems
into
are
Europe.
gone and they're
So
like
yeah, it would be it is quite a bit of danger for South American teams because they need money, and if European team doesn't have money, they basically
yeah,
are going for the MLS team.
exactly. They will probably end some of the players'
Yeah,
contract
definitely.
like last
That's why
season.
they're professional
Yeah.
players, right? Level, yeah. Or
Actually, they could have
even
actually
for
done it in the last
any
season
club to
because
hire them. It's
like
well, I shouldn't say
they could
that
get rid of
because
some players at least when the new
what
coach
is this?
came.
The Canadian left back going. Sorry, the wing back going. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
It's the other exception. I- Yeah, Alfonso Davies, other exception for going into Bayern Munich. But other than that, I don't. It doesn't really spring up any name um, that comes from MLS and did really well. There's a. Is there any other major transfer we have missed? Yeah, talk about. Yeah. In Olympics men's game, there is a two semifinals, one between Mexico versus Brazil. Mexico looked very good. Brazil is very solid team with Dani Alves, Richarlison, and there are other very good talented players such as Cunha and Pedrinho and stuff like that. Uh, but Mexico did look very good, and hoping for a very good semifinal. I don't know if I can watch it because of the time frame and also not really paying much attention to Olympics, given that the time difference. Yeah, as well as the Spanish team is going to play. The
Well,
Spanish
we
team
saw
is going to play
players like
Japan. The host
Brazilian
Japan
players
is one
moving
of the
to
favorite to win,
China
as well as Spanish team is
from
probably the most
2015
strongest
to
team
2018
in this
at the time
competition.
actually.
Although they have,
And now
there was a,
like we can see
um,
Brazil doesn't
you
have
know,
like
Brazil
a proper midfield
didn't
to
really look all good in
compete
this
in the high
tournament. I've
level.
seen some of the games against
So
Cote
it will
d'Ivoire.
be a
It
problem
was
for
not really worth the time to
any
watch. Really,
national team.
there was a
Yeah.
early red card on that game, and that game didn't really wasn't good. I saw a little bit of Argentina team, although Argentine didn't really select their under 23 even some of the players, and also the River Plate and Boca Juniors players, and also probably Newell's old boys.
Mm.
They let their players go, such as uh, yeah, there are a
Yeah,
lot of
they
players.
will
Also, the
like
European teams such as
in the end they will
the
look
Matias Palacios who
for
plays in
like
FC
making more
Basel.
money.
He was
So,
not available. Sanesi wasn't
but
available.
it will be a
There are a
problem
lot of other
actually like
players who wasn't available. But
for
whoever was
higher
available as
national team.
well, I mean, um, it wasn't
Mhm.
the greatest of tournament from them. I think Alexis McAllister
Yeah,
disappointed me a lot. Uh, but yeah, again, I think there are some bright
Davis,
spots on that team, but you cannot really base your idea on
Alfonso
that
Davis,
team
yeah.
because there are a lot of other players really played for under who are 22, 23, played for national team in Copa America as well. At least six of them. Um, so not cannot really say anything, but the Spanish team definitely has an edge, as well as Brazilian team looks very good.
Yeah.
In the women's soccer, Canada just beat US,
Pulisic,
and
yeah.
there will be another semi-final between Australia
No,
and
not
Sweden.
really. Most of them
Hoping
are like
for
pretty
this US team
junior and
is
like
definitely full of
it's not
stars like
enough
Megan
to
Rapinoe
be in the
and
top
then
league. So
Carly Lloyd
um,
and stuff like that, and it's a big achievement for Canada to beat them. Uh, Defended really well, and also it would be interesting to see whoever goes into the final. Hoping Sweden probably would be the team to go. That would be interesting final for women's team. That's just a little bit of news of soccer. Oh, last night USA beat Mexico 1-0 in the Gold Cup, CONCACAF Gold Cup. So congratulations to USA. They're playing. They played with almost a
well,
B
sorry,
team, not
but it's,
not
yeah,
selecting McKennie or
really hard to follow.
the Pulisic. Yeah, exactly, or a few other players, but still managed to win the championship, and huge congratulations to them. And commiserations for Tata Martino, who lost 5 finals, I think, out of 6. Uh, yeah, it must be a very bad record. Mexican team was actually good. Was their full strength team, but
Not about that. Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Cuadrado and stuff like that. Yeah. But a huge shout out for Canada as well. They've played
Oh
fairly
boys,
well
yeah.
and reached
They didn't get
semi-final.
the
We're very unfortunate to not to proceed to the final, but I think that's a young team. There is hope they could go on and do something well in the qualifier if they. Yeah, no, definitely. I actually followed them, and I think it's very promising, given how they have they played and actually beat Costa Rica 2-0. Was a big achievement in quarters. I think there is some hope. I think they can go in the. I think it's octagon in the CONCACAF. After rounds, they will go and play each other in the octagon, and top 3 teams qualify for the World Cup. And it would be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that's a little bit of football news that's going on overall. There is Copa Libertadores going on. Um, Except River Plate, all the Argentine teams have been eliminated. There are three or four Brazilian teams are in the hunt for the Libertadores. There is one team from Paraguay, one from Uruguay, and one from, I'm not sure, Chile or Peru. Chile probably. Um, but yeah, that's what
yeah.
football is update in terms of football going on. We'll be hopefully back again very soon to talk with you about the season as well. But I do want to remind at this point to our viewers, if there is any, please do subscribe and like, comment, and give us your feedback. Any last thought from you from anything we have missed, Shudipta? Okay, that's all well. Hopefully Messi stays in La Liga and we can see a very good season for some of the Spanish team as well as
Pulisic.
other areas of the Europe, and hopefully
Mm.
cannot wait for season to start.